All right, guys. So when it comes to niching down, there's a few things you need to understand. So the reason why we niche down is because you want to make sure that your content or whatever you're selling, promoting, even if you're just teaching, even if you're making just entertainment videos, you want to target them to the right people. The importance of this is that it pretty much can give you feedback, or you know where to get your feedback when you continue to grow, because a lot of people, they just have a broad audience, and then people that like the content or are interested in it, they'll naturally, just be drawn to it. They'll naturally just be filtered out. But when you niche down, you're able to get feedback in order to improve. That's why a lot of people, they just don't grow. So they might end up just getting 200 views on a video consistently, and they never continue to grow. And then that's it. Or they just stop getting views because the first people that view it, possibly they just randomly saw it. So that's the importance. You want to understand why you want to niche down. Now, I'm going to go over some of the cons, because I did see an article that talked about some of the cons. So I want to kind of, just give my 2 cents on it. So one thing is limiting your growth. So I do believe that's true. It can limit your growth because there's not as many people in a niche. So typically now, because a lot of people narrow down, and because there are more people on social media, people have to narrow down more because there are just more users. So for example, if your niche was fishing, you'd have to narrow down a little bit more to maybe saltwater fishing or freshwater fishing. And yes, that's a smaller pool. However, the way that we can combat that is by pretty much, of course, becoming an expert in that field. But the benefit is that you're able to get feedback because there's not too many people. So if your overall niche was just fishing, there would be millions of people that can give their 2 cents. And that can be problematic because that's too much information. If you were to ask some feedback, that would be way too many people. But maybe in saltwater fishing, maybe there's about 200,000, which is a whole lot less. But the benefit is that you can talk to people and ask them what they want to see, and that gets more and more views. So the idea of growth being limited, I believe it's true, but it's a half truth because there's a way around it, and you can make your stuff better because you have more of an intimate relationship with the people that are watching your stuff. So the second thing was return on investment not being guaranteed. So I do believe that that also can be true. However, if you apply what I mentioned, you really, really ask people what they want to see, you see what's really in demand, you can still get a good return on investment. Because what a lot of people do is they will post stuff and they don't know if it's in demand, if it's what people want to see. And a lot of people are spending a ton of time making sure that their presentation looks good, the quality is good, the hook is good, the visuals are good, it's unique, but it's not what people want to see. And you can have poorly edited videos and get a ton of views. We've seen that just with YouTubers, just with people on social media that have had poor quality work or just basic level work. And because it's in demand, that's why it gets views. So I feel like the most important thing is see what people actually want, and then you move forward by editing it and making it better and better. But the overall thing is quality, just like how I mentioned with sales. See if what you're selling is what people want, because people spend a ton of money initially with businesses, and they dump a bunch of money into marketing, and the product isn't even good. It isn't even something that people want. So that's why you really need to focus on testing, seeing if your content is actually good, if it's what people actually want to see. So the return on investment not being guaranteed because of a smaller pool, I think it's a lie. I think that this can be beneficial because as long as you do what I mentioned before, you talk to people, see what they want to see, you can still get a really, really good return on investment. So let me see, that was two. The third one was competition. So I do believe that was true, that there is more competition. However, the more you narrow down, the less competition there is. So the more specific you become, the less competition it is. And then the idea that it's more competition because it's less people that you're working with. But like I said, if you get feedback and if you really, really, just focus on quality and giving people what they want, and like I said, just being in demand and giving people what they want, niching down, being really, really unique and direct and having good quality stuff, I think you can still really, really beat out a lot of competition. So the ways to do this, so one way is to, write down your skills, see what you're good at, and just write down different ideas, and just overall write down what you want to do. So if you want to maybe make fishing videos, write down what you're good at, because this is pretty much what's going to make you stand out. The second thing is key terms. So this is important because this is all to figure out who you're targeting your stuff towards. So there are different apps and websites where you can find out key terms, but you want to see what the key terms are, because those are what are trending. Those are the things that are in demand, the topics that are in demand, the topics that people want in that niche. So that's the importance of the key terms. So seeing what people actually want to see, and then moving forward, having good quality stuff, and then finding out, what makes you stand out. Because as I mentioned before, you want to figure out what's in demand, what people want to see. You find that out by looking for key terms. The second thing is you make sure you have a good hook, the presentation is good, quality is good. And then the third thing is making sure that you're unique, and that's where looking at your skills comes in. So definitely make sure that you have something that makes you stand out, because why should somebody watch you if there are a bunch of other people that might make, for example, fishing videos? So figure out what makes you unique, what you bring to the table.